We've managed to get some time with former England and Great Britain international star of the Super League, Chris Hill. So, well, I don't know. I mean,
a bit too far.
Well, I think, if we look at what stardom is, obviously you get some players, don't you? Just they're all razzmatazz, and you get some players they're almost like the backbone of the competition, super consistent, like just stalwarts.
Probably that's the word. Yeah, consistent. If anyone ever mentions my career, it's probably consistent. I don't know if that's good or bad. You never really stand out, but you never really bottom of the pile. But yeah, that's the way I've always gone about my business. That's just the kind of person I am. I'm trying to be consistent within life and after life as well, and off the field. That's just the way I am. But I don't mind it. But
I'm right in thinking you had some seasons where you barely missed a game.
Yeah, I think I was on about this the other day because one of the Bradford lads, I think it might have been Jordan Lilly. Yeah, I think he'd done so many games.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the most consistent players. Yeah.
I think it got to about 90 something without missing. It was about. I think it was just about 3.5 seasons without missing a game for Warrington. Yeah, it certainly takes its toll.
But I mean, I don't. We've started in the middle of something here, but anyway, well, let's roll with it. I suppose if you're Jordan Lilly, you know what I mean, and you're dancing around, you're probably playing a dinner jacket. Let's be honest, you know what I mean. And then on the front row, probably
it is a little bit different. Jordan were playing. He ended up playing 9 this year, so he was in thick of it. I don't know how much you like that, but he were in thick of it. But yeah, it is a little bit different. It is a bit different the front row, all the bangs and the knocks you take. But I think anyone to do 90 odd games, whether it's amateur or professional, I think it's a pretty good start, really, to be fair.
It is. Right, just quickly, on your upbringing, sort of, you started in Wigan, local side there, then signed for Lee. Am I right in thinking, it says on Wikipedia, whether this is right or not,
there's a lot on Wikipedia, wasn't it?
But stand off and loose forward.
Yeah, that's spot on.
Yeah.
Doing your homework here. A lot of people think I'm from Lee.
Right.
Because I started at Lee.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of people I played with think, because I wanted Wigan at the weekend, because I'm a born Wiganer. So I'm originally from Lee, from Wigan in Welly, which is like not about 2 miles away from where the old Central Park was. So my grandma was a steward there, and my granddad was the tunnel bloke who dealt with all that. So you sit on his knee and watch all the players go out, Frano Botica era and Twigger Myler era, and he used to go up to my grandma and she used to sit me up wall, the famous wall. So I used to sit there and watch Wigan. So yeah, grew up there and then went to start at St Pat's, which is was one of the biggest clubs, and a lot of people have come through there, the Lockers and people like that. And then I ended up playing with Joel, but the way I ended up getting going, I ended up playing a year above. It was my mum. Yeah. So we went to, I think there was an advert in a paper. There's no adverts anymore, is there? It's all social media. But there was an advert in a paper for my age and the year above. And it was training at, I don't know if you heard of Christopher Park then, which is like round near Robin Park where they train now. And so I've gone training, loved it. They stuck me out wing, as they do with all newcomers. Done all right in training, coming off. And then parents, I think we're talking about like SATs or some tests. And my mum was like, oh no, Chris is not doing that. She's like, well, she took me to the wrong age group. So I ended up playing year above. And I ended up playing year above then till under 15s. Then when I left St Pat's, I went up to New Springs. But yeah, so it was down to my mum really. So
so you must have been battle-hardened by the time you...
Well, that's, I'll put it...
Play a year above your age.
Yeah, a little down to that. And my lad now plays year above. And I was all... Because he's a little bit small, he's a half-back. Drop him down, I'm like, no, you get battle-hardened. And
yeah, I did.
I didn't know, watching him, the difference to some, it's like nearly 18 months, in it, 2 years, some of them, is I didn't realise when I was that young, that gap was that big as well. Like, you see some lads now, and
massive.
Some like with beards, and he's only under, he's under 14s, but he's only 12. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, ooh.
Yeah.
But I didn't really get that when I was at when I was at Pats and I was coming through. I didn't see the size difference. I was a little bit bigger than him, but So I was battle hardened from day one, really. That was thanks to my mum.
And then obviously, so you then went into like the Lee Academy setup?
Yeah, I was at Wigan. Now they have scholarships, don't they?
Yeah.
Where they bring you through. Then it was a development, which they sort of do now. They invite a lot of kids down, and my lad's been down. And then they like sort of shift them through, and then they offer the scholarships. So anyway, I was at development, and then when they were offering the scholarships, I remember it dead set to this day, and it's probably one that's probably motivated me through my career, really. Dean Bell dragged me and my dad in, and remember Dean Bell, obviously played. He's at the New Zealand Warriors now, and he just went, "He'll never be good enough. We're going to have to let him go." And that was like, because at that time as well, when you have mates who play it and that, and they were all getting signed up at Saints, Warrington, and I went back playing amateur, so it was a bit like, a bit of a kick in teeth, really. And I still remember it to this day. And it was funny, when we played Wigan, it was COVID, we were on the opposite side getting changed, and I walked past the exact office, and I said, "That's exactly where Dean Bell told me I wouldn't be good enough." And it's mad, and it's always stuck with me, that. And that's probably a bit of a driver as well.
Yeah, I can imagine.
A bit of a 2 fingers back.
I can see in your face now you're telling that story back, and there's some emotion there.
Yeah. There is, yeah. And even with my dad, it was a bit of a sod you sort of thing.
Was you being graded and like, was you running trials now as a standoff stroke loose forward, or had you been moved into, how did that come about, the change of position?
I think I only played standoff and loose forward because I was probably the only one who could pass. That was it. I was a bit fat and a bit chunky. I couldn't move right well like I can't now. But I think the whole thing was because I could pass left to right, and I could pass right to left, and not many could at that stage. So
no, I remember Sean Edwards couldn't pass both ways.
No, he used to turn right at it. Yeah, he turned his back. Yeah, still, it's mad. And look at the halfback he was. But yeah, so it was I could pass, so I got shoved into it at school, and then I played a bit for it at St. Pat's, and then when we were at New Springs, it was sort of like a new setup. And all my mates, who'd then been let go from Wigan as well, and a few from what we all come together, made a new team. And so we had like lads who'd not played, lads who'd just started, and so it was like, well, really, you go six because like pass left to right and right to left, and that was basically it. It weren't once I then signed at Lee, it was right. He's too fat. Get him in front more. I played a bit of back row for a bit, but he soon shifted up to prop.
So, what was it like, that move into Championship Rugby League? I mean, from playing amateur to into the Championship.
We went to Super League. Lee was in Super League.
Well, yeah. So what it was, I was training. They had a 21s then, like the other reserve. We had an under 21s, so there was always. So I played under 18s. Kevin Anderton, the coach, who I still speak to now, actually, great bloke. And then I played one game at 21s. And then we'd had a tough year in 2005. Darren Abram was the coach. He got sacked. And Heath Cruikshank, the assistant, took over, Aussie bloke. So he brought me up to the first team, just more or less just for training and just get me used to that environment. And then we played, I think we played Saints. Yeah, we played Saints and made me down. But he told me that week, and he said, "I'll sit you on bench. If we need you, we need you." Because I think we'd had a load of injuries. If we need you, we'll throw you on. So, and it was like, I think we were 36-0 down at half time. I think it's the right debut of this. Jamie Lyon, Nick Fozzard, Sean Long, who else did it? Jason Hooper, Jason Careless.
Running.
Easy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I thought, Belkin was. And then he put me on at half time. Went, "Illy, get yourself on it." Literally at half time, we kicked to them. Kicked off, still remember this day. Kicked off, Nick Fozzard, boom, steamed it straight back at me. Elbows, knees, boom, got up, like with thingies around your head, white dots in your face. And that was welcome to full-time rugby league sort of thing, yeah. So that was my only chance in Super. That was my only 40 minutes in that bit of Super League. And then, yeah, we dropped down to Championship, that was a mad eye opener. It's a different level.
What do you mean? Like when you say it's a different level, is it?
I've always said, and I've said it, I've done podcasts before on this, I'd have never been the player I were if I didn't do my 5-6 years at Lee.
Yeah.
Because that Championship, and I always encourage players, if they're not playing, go and get a championship club because maybe not so now, but back then there was like Andy Hobson I played with, you know, in proper dirty, you know, like, you know, proper old school, like
him, mate. He's terrible.
Like Daging and all, you know, like proper, like
just grim. He's grim, innit? He's not even like dark arts. He's not grim.
And you used to play some on Thursday nights, but then you got Workington on a Sunday, and it was like raining sideways and that, and you know, but it was that slow. You get leathered all the time, so it battle hardened you a little bit more, and made you learn the arts of the game because if you think good.
Sorry, Chris, explain that to me. So you're saying it's that slow, you get levelled all the time. What do you mean by?
Because the ruck's that slow,
right?
And the grounds are that poor.
Yeah, they've got loads of time to get to set.
Times it ruck.
Yeah.
Ref weren't, because ref standards not great anyway.
Yeah.
But back then it was even worse. In championship, they were like amateur refs, a lot of them. They'd let everything go. There'd be people flying in everywhere from every angle. And it made you think, because if you didn't, you'd be getting leathered every time. So it worked wonders for me, really, going into the championship. It did. I called it my apprenticeship, really. Into rugby league. It was good. It was good.
So he played a year above your age when you were playing amateur. Then you ended up in the championship. You were definitely battle hardened by the time you ended up
battle hardened.
Super League, weren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm full of concussion, Paula.
So, well, can we talk about? So, obviously, if someone was to draw a caricature of Chris Hill, the head guard would be there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Talk to me about where that came from.
Everyone always says, I don't recognise you at your guy. They always go, don't walk in with it, mate. Like,
I remember
they don't look that fake, but I'm not that fake.
Yeah, you're not doing your plumbing.
Yeah.
But I remember you had like this lock of hair, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like, you took your cap off and I was like, hey, he shaved it all. What's happened?
That Wi-Fi, get that off. But it was just something I've always worn, again, since a kid. I think back then you had to wear it at a certain, I think they brought that back in amateur.
Yeah.
Or they tried to. So it's just something that was mentioned. We played, and I played the under-21s game. It was at Castleford at home, I remember this, and I forgot my head guard. And I got knocked out and ended up in A&E.
Really?
And it's nothing to do.
Yeah, it's just coincidence.
I think it's coincidence.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't stop concussions. It just stops cuts. Well, it doesn't stop that many because I've got one right from forehead. So it's just something I've grown up with. When people go, why'd you wear that? Because you're not an endurance. Because I've worn it in Catlan when it's been 35 degrees. I wore it at Denver when we played with England. That was ridiculous. But it'd be like someone not wearing the boots. I just can't. I couldn't comprehend not putting it on.
Yeah, I could never. I
could train without it.
Yeah.
Do contact without it. We do wrestle and mats and contact, and I won't wear it. It was just when it come to a game day. It was
one of them weird things. I could never play without wearing a gum shield.
All right. I don't. Sure, a lot of players can't wear gum.
Yeah, because I could never wear a gum shield.
No.
I remember my first game. Yeah, I buried it in the mud. You know.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, my mum was like, "Where's your gum shield? I've lost it. it." You can't even know it.
I've always worn a gum shield, and it's sort of mandatory again because you have them chips in the Super League. So it just, which is right.
I suppose we have these rituals and things that help you play better, and putting on your head guard is obviously like an anchor or something that helps you perform.
I don't have a lot of rituals. Like another one is that I always get the assistant put my shirt on. That was the only sort of like routine they had. Because I know many lads, jeez, there's some
crazy one,
done wonderful one.
We had a great one from the kit man, the Wigan kit man, saying that one of the players he wants new trunks every game. You know what I mean? Well, I weren't going to say the name.
Was it
Farriman?
Or was it Jack?
Yeah, apparently.
I got the same gym as him. I'll tell you that.
Apparently wants new trunks every game. They won't have soiled trunks.
Nah, you know, see state of mind. He had holes in it. Acid had gone through him. Some state of something like that. Awful.
Should we touch on your season at Warrington? Or your career at Warrington even? Looking back over your stats, 2012 was a magical year for you.
Yeah, mad.
Yeah.
Mad like you'd never believe. And that all happened really quick. So in 2011, I was at Leigh. And we'd end up going to Batley on a Thursday night. We were playing when it was on Premier TV. And we got stuck on M62.
Shocker.
Yeah. Standard. I've been on that a few times. So we all got changed. We all got strapped on bus, everything. Literally, because Premier TV were ringing, so if you're not here with it next half an hour, we're going to put it off there.
Yeah.
You like play it or rearrange it with Batley or whatever. Anyway, we got there within 5 minutes. But Batley were coming in from warm up. We just got there, went out, rolled the shoulders, couple of run throughs and put 40 on them. Weirdly. You know what I mean? Like no prep, no nothing, straight off buzz. And then literally straight after that game, I got a phone call off my agent. Said, Warrington wants to sign you at morning. I'm like, yeah. But I knew Huddersfield wanted Huddersfield in as well. So obviously, being a Lancashire lad as well. So I was leaning into one. They were both similar money. There were no mad difference in money, but they had to sign me in 2011. They signed me straight away. Something to do with salary cap or some salary cap issue they had. And then they loaned me back to League for the rest of the year because we played OKR in that.
Yeah,
Route Trains, Northern Rail. Yeah. So we played that in 2011. Obviously, we won that. And then I went to Warrington in 2012. So when I went there, we went, first few weeks was like, what? Well, like, this is like ridiculous, you know. But the players who were there then, like Moz, Carvel, Woody, I think Monaghan come that year. So Steph, who's my good mate, who played at Pats with, he got a different route with Salford, and then we've come back there. Trent Waterhouse, I was the international, you know, state of origin. I'm like, I shouldn't be here, me. Like, anyway, then we went to Oz on a pre-season trip. Did 3 weeks there.
Was that in England, or was that?
No, that was with Warrington. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Emirates sponsored us.
All right.
Because they sponsored the kit, I think, that year.
Yeah, they did at some point.
Yeah, at some point. They had some affiliates. So they did, I don't know whether they paid flights or whatever. So we did 3 weeks in Cudgy Bay, which you can, we're not worth spoiling world, is it? So, yeah, we trained against a few teams and whatnot. And then I didn't get picked for the first game. It was Hull FC at Hull. I think I were 18th man. And then I think I were 18th man week after. And then I went up to Huddersfield on a Thursday. Played for, it was still the 21s then, I think. Played for the 21s and we beat them. And then Friday, Smithy rang me and said, Gaz Carvel's pulled out, he's ill. And we were playing Saturday. He said, any chance you could back up from Thursday and play Saturday? I said, yeah, of course. Do centre cap. I'll make sure I'm ready.
Yeah.
Anyway, I sat up, mate, you might get 10, 15 minutes here. Someone went down the first 10 minutes. So boom, straight on. And yeah, never looked back from then, and never went out of the team since then. It was.
Do you think players need a little bit of luck in those opportunities?
Oh, I've always said that. Yeah. It's all about right timing.
Yeah.
People's opinion. So Ian Millwood was our coach in 2011 at League, and he got on really well with Tony Smith. And then Basil, Ian, knew we were leaving, so he tipped Smithy up and said, listen, we've got this lad. We played him a couple of times in pre-seasons that year and year before, so I don't know if Smithy had seen me anywhere. So you've got to have a bit of luck.
Yeah,
I've always said that. Like, yeah, there's hard work off the field and all that, but I think there's always an ounce of luck in there, innit, I think.
We're a big fan of Ian Millwood. So I've read a quote from Ian Millwood. He was one of the sort of people who tipped that you were going to make England international, didn't he?
Yeah, really, really good. We've just really got on. It's one of them, Basil. If he likes you, he likes you. If it doesn't, then be aware. Like you could see yourself out pretty quick. And well, of course, again, it's a matter of opinion, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've said that now with my lads growing up, or other people who come and ask for advice and stuff like that. It's one court. Dean Bell didn't like me. It's an opinion, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's just the way.
Well, I suppose they have a direction they want to take a team, and if your style
doesn't suit, or my style of play, or what he wants to do. It is what it is, but yeah, we cracked on 2012, played most of the year, and then I should have been playing for England Knights at the end of the year. I got a call up for that, which was absolutely buzzing with. And England first team were playing, I think it was Wales and France in a little tri-series thing. Anyway, again, just before we went into camp for England Knights, Steve Mack rang me and said, a couple of players have pulled out of this. Do you want to come up with first team? So I was like,
is that really a question?
Oh, is that, yeah? Is this what, yeah. Did you really need to ask for that? Just send me an email and I'll be there. Anyway, we stopped at Carden Park at Chester.
Right.
And room with Gaz Ellis, who's just come back like, from NRL, West Tigers. I'm like, what is going on here? Yeah, it's mad.
We'll touch back on the England stuff in a bit. I just want to go back to the 2012 season with Wire. You picked up pretty much all awards.
Well, all the major awards for the players. Player of the Year, Players Player, Vice President Player.
Yeah. Awards are not a big... I'd rather... I'd give every bit of award back for a grand final ring. You know what I mean? That's just me. And yeah, I picked all them up, but...
Was that not the year you won the Challenge Cup final?
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah.
So, that was... And then you just think then, it was a bit surreal really, because you just think then it should happen every year, because we got to Challenge Cup final and grand final, you're like, all right, this Super League, like, it's not as hard as everyone says it is. But obviously it doesn't happen. And 2012, because they'd won it in, I think, 9. They won it in 09, I think, for the first time for quite a few years in 2010. They beat Huddersfield. And then we got back there in 12 and beat Leeds. And I started in a Challenge Cup final. It was unbelievable. Yeah, they're memories for life.
So, I mean, we were at the grand final at the weekend, and one of the things we wanted to speak to you about was just that feeling on match day, grand final day, or Challenge Cup final. What's it like that morning you wake up?
It's the week.
Knowing,
It's the full week. You've never experienced. As soon as you know you're in here, that's why you see players, the dip in form leading up. There's usually a couple of games in there between.
Yeah.
It's especially Challenge Cup. There's a couple of games in between it before you get to the final. And I think we'd done it one year with Warrington, and we went into London week before. And my missus and family always travel. They've travelled everywhere watching me, and they come down. And I ended up getting sin-binned for a late tackle on someone week before Challenge Cup. Well, it quite his car journey home, because I went home with them because one of my friends were getting married the day after. And I'm banned.
Yeah.
I'm banned. That's Challenge Cup final. I'm done. And she's like, you don't even know yet. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm banned. And anyway, it didn't end up coming up. So she went, you've ruined a 3.5 hour car journey for nothing. Right. But yeah, you see, and I think we got beat 54-6.
It was a record. Yeah, it was a record.
Hammered at London. And then went to beat Leeds a week after. But it's the whole week, especially Challenge Cup. Because you get in, because there's such a short gap, which I don't understand why they do. They have a massive gap to quarters to semis. It's like 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
But then between semis and final, it's like 2 weeks. But like for the clubs, it's the prep and everything. They've got to get do we get suits sorted, tickets? I know RFL have a couple of hotels they allocate you, and I think it's a toss a coin, and then someone gets to pick where they want to be. But I don't get that. They should have the bigger gap from semis to final. But that's football.
Are you pro suit, or
I do like
more of a tracksuit? Yeah, I mean we're on about this. We like the suits.
Yeah,
Challenge Cup this year, I think
a lot of people have gone away from that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, did Warrington go down in t-shirt and shorts?
Yeah, it seemed to be.
You got a beach.
Yeah.
No, I'm a suit. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
special occasion, and everyone looks like a proper team, don't they? Even all staff should have one. But it's the full week leading up. You get your suits, all the media, and then you travel to London on usually. Well, we've been Wednesday and we've done Thursday, and then you do team run at Wembley. Where you used to be able to do team run at Old Trafford. But I think they've canned that now. I don't think they let you. So I don't think on them boys.
I don't think they'll be allowed on the pitch before the game again, really, after this weekend. But
Bussy Groundsman at Old Trafford. I was there this week.
Yeah, so the story, I don't know if I thought you'd have known this. So apparently Wigan did this ritual where they wrote down some limiting beliefs or something on a bit of paper and then they burnt it. Well, they did it on the pitch at Old Trafford.
So we might not be Old Trafford next year. They might be Etihad. Right? Oh, I didn't know that.
No, well, that was the stuff, because we were trying to get to talk to the groundsman. The grounds like, no, I don't want anything to do with Rugby League after this game. So,
You can imagine throwing toys out pram, can't you?
Well, it's his kid, these bits of grass.
The worst ever at the grounds people. It's not their back garden. It does my head in, honestly. You have it everywhere we go. Off the grass. I'm thinking, that's what you're doing it for, innit? So I can train on it and play on it.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're all the same. That and kit, man. They think they're handing their own kit out, kit, man. They are the worst. Can I have another XL shirt? Oh, I don't ever got enough. You've got 500 in there. Just give me one more. Honestly, it's like handing their own kit out. I said, you not bought it.
Yeah, it's not yours.
It's not yours.
Stores are for storing them, aren't they? They're not for dishing out.
No.
Otherwise, they'll be called.
But they're all behind. We had one at Bobby Moore at Warrington. He's give it local thing, it King and Queen. So he'd then put 20 quid on his tab. End of year, for a training t-shirt.
All right.
I've been asking you for that all year, and I've been training for 2 t-shirts all year. But there's one behind King and Queen. It's all right. So nightmare. Do me head in.
Did you enjoy Stash Day then when it came round?
Yeah.
Is that like, no matter what level you get to playing rugby league?
Always like.
I mean, I still love Stash Day.
Stash Day. I love gear and that's just
one of the reasons you're playing it.
Of course it is, yeah. I think I'm playing in that 7-4-5 game for Rob Burrow at Roster and she was like, what kit? I'm like, to Mrs. Yes, some more kit. She was like, you don't need any more kit. I've got piles under bed. I've got loads in like Bradford, Salford. I still got Warrington kit. Like, it's like, you don't need any more kit. I said, yeah, we do. I love it. My dad loves it.
Random question of the day. Which club have you had best stash from?
You'd probably say England.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, England is always Warrington. Warrington always looked after you with stuff like that. But England's always your missus used to drag this full bag back straight after the first camp. Boom, there. It'd be in the living room for 6 weeks then. Because all I'd do is come. She'd do me washing, I'd get out thing, and then off I'd go again. So the bag lived in. I think I took a bag. Where did we take it? It's outside of my bed now. I just fell over it this morning. There's a ball because we went on holiday, so she got it out. Yeah.
So obviously, lots of people talk about the emotions, the feeling in the run up to the finals, the Challenge Cup finals. But there's also another feeling in there, and that's the loss.
Yeah.
And it seems like, being a Wigan lad, that Wigan has plagued you in a number of finals.
Yeah, it has.
So, I mean, what were those feelings like?
Awful. They was asking me this on the weekend, and I say you have the run up of the emotions going to, especially the grand final. The grand final's unbelievable, and with the grand final as well, it's your last game of the season. So there's nothing else. Well, apart from internationals, if selected, but there's nothing else after that. So it eats away at you that, especially if you're not international. I imagine because after my losses, I've gone then straight into camp, so which is probably been a good thing really, because it's sort of took my mind off somewhere else. But it does eat you up, and even at weekend when I was there, I don't often go. I don't often watch it really, to be fair. And when I was playing, if I weren't in the final, or if the Challenge Cup final I weren't in it, I'd go away for weekend, and you'd have time off. I wouldn't watch it. Because I'd want to be there. I want to be there. Yeah, I don't want them feelings. Like, you sort of just want to, and then get back into training week after. We're back to Super League, you know what I mean? It's all right now, but yeah, watching it. I've never watched any of my games back really, which I might start doing. 2017 World Cup. Never. I think my dad's watched it about 4 million times, but I've never been able to press play and watch it because that was heartbreaking.
Yeah. Was that the bit of a disaster tour, was it? The Great Britain?
No, that was the final. Yeah, the ankle tap.
Oh, yes.
World Cup.
Yeah. Crikey.
Yeah. So, I probably will get back to watching them, but yeah, with the grand finals and that, was the losses. And that's what they say about the roller coaster of rugby. The highs are high, but the lows are really low.
Well, I heard someone describe it as like, I can't remember who it was that said this, but in the run-up to the grand final of the weekend, they sort of said, look, the winning you plan for, you aim for, you kind of...
And the club do, obviously. Yeah. So the after stuff or whatever. It's all geared to winning, innit? Everything.
Yeah.
No one's the gear. No one gears to lose, do they?
But that's what they were saying. And they were saying, so therefore, you don't know how to feel.
No.
You don't know how to react.
No. 2012, because it was my first year, it was a bit like a surprise year. And you don't really know what you're expecting first time. But I think the one that hurt me, I've got a picture of me and Mickey both sat on crying. When we played at Wigan, I'm not sure it was 14, 15. And we were like 14-2 up or 16-2 up at half time. Then we got 3 or 4 injuries. And it just obliterated. We didn't have no sort.
Well, I think you was captain then as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
So did you have That's a different spin on it as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a different feeling. I walked out with my lad at Old Trafford. He held my hand coming out. He'll never do that again because he did that at Catalan as well. In Challenge Cup, and we lost that one as well. So I always said you'd never come out with me again, lad. But yeah, that was probably more as well because I was captain. But yeah, I think we were 14-2 up or 16-2 up. We ended up with Breezy at fullback. He's slowly a day off at best of times, Breezy.
Yeah.
And they had a great kicking game, and all they did is just kept putting ball behind him. And then Joe Monaghan went off, Steph Ratchford went off, Ben Harrison went off, and we had like Gaz Carvel at back row. I think Moz come on and went back row, and then there were me, Woody. It was like a big snowball effect. You could see it just coming with Wigan, and then you know when you can't do nothing about it. That was the hardest bit. It was like 30 minutes of torture. You knew it were coming, and they were just rolling on us, and then they ended up getting us. And that's probably the one that hurts me most. And me and Mickey still talk about it now. That's probably the one, because we was in such a commanding lead at half time. That's probably one that killed us, that. Yeah.
Do you know when you're playing in these big games at Old Trafford, and is there ever a moment where you're like, you can remember like taking it in going, look at how many people were playing in front of here, or is it
Usually when you come out,
or is it just you're just that in the mindset?
yeah, usually when you come out, as soon as whistle blows, you could be playing up back for the wheel. Yeah, it's game on. That my lad asked me over there because Ulker and that was chanting. He were inside of me, thinking Ulker a bit. And he said, "You ever hear it, fans?" He said, "Sometimes when you're walking back, you know, someone's calling me a fat git as usual or whatever when I'm walking back." But I said, "No, you don't. Once you come out and they all lined up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Old Trafford. That's it. It's spine tingling. You take all that in. But once it's kicked off, you're in it. You could be playing, like I say, you could be playing in your front room and you won't be bothered. Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I took from this week's grand final was how loud the crowd actually was. I thought it was
mad.
deafening.
It's mad at Old Trafford. That's probably the best place you'll ever play at Rugby League. Played in many grounds. Probably the only other one was Tonga in semi-final.
Oh yeah,
over in New Zealand. But I think for a neutral, like two sides, obviously because over there it was just all Tongans. The best thing about Old Trafford is when you come down the tunnel, they pull the screen out, don't they? The tunnel.
Yeah.
So once you're walking, you can't see because you come down on the slant coming out. So it's only when you get to the bottom, then you can look up, it hits you then. So beforehand, you can't see out.
Yeah.
Can't see any at pitch. I think you just see corner flag just right at bottom. So that's the best bit. You can hear the noise and all that, and then when you get there, boom, it erupts.
That must be the closest thing to being like a gladiator that we will ever experience in modern times. You know what I mean? You walk into like the Coliseum.
Yeah. And that's the sort of what we said when we played Tonga in that semi-final, because it was 99% Tongans and there was a little section of our England fans in. It was mad. You couldn't hear from me to you now. You couldn't hear someone because as soon as ball went down, they put music on and all stand up dancing and waving flags and wooing and all that. But yeah, Old Trafford's something special. Even at weekend, just doing commentary on it, it gets hers going. I'm telling you. Mad.
You talked about like your time with these star players around you, and you think, I don't really fit in here. At what point did you think, do you know what? No, I do fit in here. I've earned my right to stand here with these players.
Probably after England.
Yeah,
because you sort of get a little bit more respect. You know, I know it was only Wales and France. No disrespect to them, but once you start playing international, they go, right, he's ready for this. He's due his place here, and I'm big about earning it. You've got to earn it. Like kids these don't, just in general life, don't want to earn anything, don't want to work for anything. Not saying all of them don't, but that's sort of the era that we're getting into, isn't it? And I think you've got to earn it. We were making protein shakes, cleaning boots, like Lee, all that. Can't do that anymore. It's too politically correct, innit? It only takes one person go tell his mum or dad and they go into the club and it's bullying, innit? Some of the things we've done, like to interns and stuff like that, jeez, like...
We can imagine.
Honestly, And that's a bit of the rugby league environment.
You got to earn your stripes a bit, haven't you?
Yeah, you have. You've got to earn your stripes, and it's having respect as well. Now, like, just as much as someone sitting in your place in video, where it's always your place, young kids now would sit there and have
think not of it.
Of it. Or your place in changing rooms where you get changed, even if it's just at the training ground. They'd sit there. Yeah, you've got to. I've always said you've got to earn it, and that's what I felt like I did in that first year. Didn't make any movement or noise about me. Like, I'm not like that anyway, but I just knuckled down and got my job done, and I got the rewards at the end of the year with England.
So how did the captaincy come about then? I mean, obviously, you
pissed up in Tenerife. That's how we come about. Yeah. So we obviously I'd have a good relationship with Smithy, and then I can't remember who was captain. Was it Joe Monahan? Might have been captain for me, and he left and went Castleford. But I think the other give it Joel to keep him there for that extra year because he was on about leaving. So then we got pre-season, we got Tenerife. I don't know why Smithy decided to do it then, but we'd been up night out. I had not been in long. And banging on the door. And I think, what have we done here? I was with Steph, Ratchford in room, thinking, what we've not done no wrong here. Smithy, Illy can have a word. I'm thinking, what have I done? I've done something wrong here. Someone's got back. And then he told me I was captain. And I was rough as. And then he seen me again at morning. And he knew I was rough. And he's gone, did you remember that thing? And I was like, yeah. And that's how it come about. But we had a good relationship, me and Smithy. And then, yeah, we took it from there. And there was some tough times.
What was his instructions to you then? Did he sort of set some expectations?
Yeah. Sober up. Wine sober up. Quick. We're training tomorrow.
Why did he decide to tell you at that time? Did you ever find out?
He'd have known. He used to wait up for Smithy for getting. So in Tenerife, the hotel, it went round in like a square, and he'd wait near reception. But people knew it was, so they'd jump over near the fire exit and run round and then try and get in the room. And he'd just sit there and watch you, do it like Tetris, going up to your room, and he'd just get you at morning, and he'd go, "No, I did see you." And like you just see lads going all the way around back to the room.
What was he like as a coach?
Oh, complicated. It was very complicated, yeah. You go in to a meeting with him with one question and come out with another 10. Like, it was like a psychological sandwich with him. Positive, negative, positive. Honestly, it was like, done this well. Yeah, you're doing really that well, but you're not playing this week. And you're like, yeah, he was very good, great coach. Yeah. Getting to the back end of it at Warrington, I found looking back now, even though he lost his love with it, I think he lost his way with it. He not so much didn't put the effort in, but I think he'd lost the love for the game. I think he needed a new challenge because I think then he was the most long-serving coach in Super League. I think he'd been there 8-9 years then. I think he'd lost his love for the game.
I think you could tell that actually in interviews, after post-game interviews.
Yeah, and in training he used to just wander out field and let assistants do a lot of it. So then it's sort of like rubs off on lads then, and if he's that trying to then tell you why you're not doing this and why you're not doing that, you sort of lose a little bit of respect for him. And a few things happened within the club then, and yeah, I think it disappointed me because when Mickey Allen wanted to leave, he wanted to go back to league, obviously end of his career. Smithy sort of tried to put a block on it and said there's right ways and things to do, which I get. As from a club point of view, we didn't want to let Mickey go. And there's right ways about going about having the conversation, wanting to leave. But then when he left the last game, and I've always had a gripe with him about this, and I've never really spoke to him. I don't have much communication with him anymore. He just got his stuff. We were all waiting in change rooms last game because I think we're in the middle eights.
Oh.
When you split off, yeah. Obviously, we finished top of them. I can't remember who we played. I think Halifax last game. And they did a bit of a presentation on field for leaving players and whatnot. And we're all sat in change rooms waiting for just a bit of a debrief. Listen, lads, thanks for your efforts this year. And he knew we were going. And Richie Mathers come in, who were one of commercial things. He just played there. And what you're waiting for? I went, Smithy. He went, no, he's just got his bags, he's gone, his car. And I thought, since then, like, if
it's a way to do stuff.
And that's what I'm saying, he's told that with Mickey, the way to do stuff. And he's then not backed it up. Because before that, he always back up what he'd said and the way to do things. And he'd implement that. And I just thought he lay himself down with that.
But talking about Warrington, because you've alluded to there, talking about when Smithy was there was a bit of a negative culture at one point during the Warrington times. From the outside looking in, we speak about this quite a lot. With what is the culture like at Warrington? Because the old phrase goes around every year, doesn't it? It's always their year. And Warrington get criticised quite a lot for not having the best culture. Is this right, or is he completely right?
I think, and that comes a lot from as well when.
And I know that's the media making a lot.
Darryl Pope backed that up a little bit when he come. So that was just as I left, and Perley said, I'd only want to keep you but on a year deal. I said, well, I think I deserve it too. I said, I'm still playing England. He was like, with your age and all that. And I said, well, sure. Again, it's his opinion, innit? So he never got back to me, so I signed at Huddersfield. But he had an opinion of me and Mike Cooper that round us, it was a bad culture. And I think since he's admitted it, he were wrong, but he'd heard it through the media or whatnot.
Yeah.
The older heads was too in charge. And I know Paula would have probably tried to come and put his stamp on it, which he did. And obviously it didn't work, but that was up to him, you know. And I've no gripes with Paula about that because that was his choice, that's his opinion. But I think he did have an opinion of a few older heads, and obviously I was out of contract, and then he shipped Mike Cooper off to Wigan after they had a bit of a to-do. But I think he had it in his head that there was a culture around the older lot overtaking and, you know, pushing certain things, agendas and stuff like that. So it's great at Warrington, and I love it as a club. I think they're getting a lot more structure to what they're doing now with Gary Chambers and people like that in place. But I heard an analogy of it, and it was pretty spot on when we were there. It was like pantomime. So at the front of the curtain, it was all organised, and then behind it, it was chaos. And that's how I always, and looking back, it was probably spot on. And it took a bit for Fitzy to get confidence back, to get his stuff in place, and obviously change of coaches probably didn't work out, did he? And, you know, so I hope we stick with Sam. I do, because I can see some coming. I think the recruitment's been way off.
Yeah,
last few years, I think it's way off.
Not knowing as much as you do, like we've spoke about this, and sometimes I've looked at recruitment and gone, I don't understand this. You know, I don't understand the move. Well, like what kind of team we're trying to develop here.
Yeah, I don't. Probably wanted to play the Cass way and shift it a little bit more, but then obviously had Joe Philbin and that who won't do that.
Yeah.
So a bit like that Ruben Amrin now, and at United he's trying to play a certain way, but he doesn't have the players to play that way. I think you've got to adapt as a coach. I think Sam's slowly doing it and slowly getting an identity. But I think the recruitment's been poor over the last few years. I think they need to start bringing a few more young kids, because a lot of good young kids there.
Well, yeah, the Warrington cleaned up this year, didn't they? Under 21s or the reserves or whatever it was.
So hopefully that they'll be coming through and sort of stick, because they've always had players who have come through, but then sort of like not given them enough opportunity, sort of thing, and they died away. And I was disappointed to see Conor Wrench retire. Obviously, for his own reasons, I'm not so sure why. But I thought he'd be a really good one to step in. And then there's a young lad called Ewan Irwin.
Yeah, I've seen him at times.
Yeah, he's really good. So maybe if George does leave at the end of next year, he might be one to step in. I think they've got to start to look. For Warrington, I think they try and go by the instant success. It doesn't work unless you've got the core foundation straight away, have you? You know what I mean? Unless you've got that rock solid round.
That's the Wigan model, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's why Wigan is so good.
And then you can add all your little bits.
Yeah, they have this absolute core of Wiganers that are quality players, and instill
what it is to mean to play for that for Wigan I think Warrington sort of copy Wigan, but I presume there'll be a lot of clubs who want to sort of copy Wigan's model and the way they bring them through. But knowing I've been down to Wigan's academy, obviously my lad, and that and training, it's like years ahead of many others. And I've not, like, obviously I spent a small time there, but that was back with dinosaurs, you know what I mean? That was back a long time ago. But the way they're doing it now is, you can understand why there's so many come through there. It's phenomenal.
Can you go into a bit more depth on that? Like, what is the difference? And I know Wigan are fortunate that they have some of the best amateur clubs in the country, don't they, around. But that don't mean to say that all those players from Pats and Judes all end up playing for Wigan.
They have a great structure from top, Radlinsky, all the way down. And they all know, even with coaches, they all play a certain way. So then they're all like linked. So then they just step up the ladder, you know what I mean? They're all going one way.
Right.
Where I know someone when at the academy, they're bringing different players in and they'll play a different way, but then when it gets to the next level, they've not been playing that way. So they then struggle to fit into that. And at that point when you get 16, 17 now, you haven't got a year bedding. You're either good enough or you're out. And that's what Wigan do really well. It's like a runway, basically. They're all on one path. And you can see it from my lad trained there the other week and they were doing some wrestle sessions and that. And a few of them were being sick. And they were like, nah, get on with it, come on. But I know that had happened at first team. But I know then they'll know, and my lad's age will know that happens at first team. So they're not bothered about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just the way it's drilled into them. It's harsh, but it works. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's stuff like that does carve an identity in a team, you know. And I think the whole town of Wigan has got an identity on it, and they're probably fortunate they can attract. Like people, no doubt, will want to sign for Wigan because of who Wigan are.
Yeah, and it's not just a success; it's everything that goes with it. The community staff there, brilliant. You know, like with the disability side, the women's side. You know what I mean? It's all linked. And Matty Pete's done a really good job with the community. I've been into a few game days and they're over at the Robin Park. They have that fan zone.
Yeah.
It's bouncing. But the lads walk through some games. And as a fan, I imagine that's
a pinnacle as a fan.
Yeah, to get as close as you can there. They have some non-players milling around in there. They have wheelchair rugby outside. You know, it's just the way they do things. It's a smart way of doing things, but a caring way as well.
Yeah.
They care about the community. They're not just doing it because it's a bit of a show. You know, it's a bit, oh, look at us. They actually care about the community, which is a nice bit.
Yeah, I think they understand, you know, a lot of things run through, don't it? So they take care of that.
And there's certain places in Wigan that's deprived areas as well, you know, with kids and stuff like that. And they care about them. It's a good club.
So I just want to go on back to the Warrington DNA, really. It's where you spent most of your time. Like, I know we touched on it earlier about, you know, the culture around the club. What don't fans know about that club? 'Cause you seem to be saying that there is a positive culture around the club, but what don't we know about?
Oh, I'm not saying there's always been one. Back in the day, a lot of people, but that was, I think that was the culture then, weren't it? You know, your Lee Breezy era and, you know, that era, that was the drinking culture anyway back in the day. I think everyone, I think most at clubs, but Warrington were probably the most high profile maybe then. I don't know. But I don't think they've got, they do try and link into the community quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I know they have a great community base there. Kelly, what's he? Finger Kelly, who runs it, or did run it, and then Wes. They have a real link with the community. I just don't know whether it's been. I don't know if they just go in fits and starts. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a real bond with the community,
right?
And a real engagement with the community, and they do a lot. I just think End of the day, your product is what's on field. And if that isn't right, it filters down on it. You could be 10th in league, but it's still not, nothing filters down then. There's no positive vibe around the town then, is there? So everything's negative in it.
Yeah.
And that's what it seems to be.
I always feel a disconnect a little bit with Warrington fans and the club.
Yeah, probably. You probably ask them, like they're probably the same. They're very fickle.
Yeah, when it's not going right, they seem to be on the club's back quite quickly.
Quite quick, yeah. And sometimes, and they've not had a load of success, but with the Challenge Cups, sometimes you're a victim of your own success, so they just expect you to get there. And if you don't, it's, we're rubbish. And I get we've had some bad years. We do, and clubs have them, don't they? But I don't think they've really marked out what kind of DNA they want, what kind of club and what kind of looking at and the core of it. Hopefully now with Gary Chambers in, he's getting it, and I've seen bits of it. I've not been involved enough in it, obviously I'm not there, but you can sort of start seeing it. And that's where let's get rid of Sam. It doesn't work, does it? You keep swapping and changing coaches. When do you stop?
Yeah.
When do you stop? Like,
well, that could be the start, couldn't it?
Yeah,
of
could.
a new DNA. Like,
you've got to start. We're sticking with this. We're going with this. This is what our outlay is. This is what we're going to do. We've got another 3 or 4 young kids coming up to the first team next year. A lot of it as well with us, they like with Warrington. They like the big signing, don't they? They love a big name, don't they?
Yeah.
Put his name in lights, a bit showy, bit panto-y, innit? Like,
well,
so
when you mentioned panto, straight away I was thinking like Andrew Johns, you know what I mean? Like Adrian Borley landed there, there's some
a big name, don't they? I'm not saying it don't work, but I don't think it gives you a solid foundation as a club.
And you flip back to Wigan, the Wigan model, let's call it that. Everyone's getting locked into long-term deals there. Like, some players
they want to stay, don't they? Yeah. That's the environment they want to be in, the success they want to get, and that's what Wigan breeds, isn't it? It takes a long time to do that. Wigan have probably been doing it for 15, 20 years, if not longer.
Yeah.
The way it's come, and they've managed to transfer that over to DW, and I'm not saying, like you said, with the fans, the disconnect. I've been to a team. I tell you what, Salford fans are unbelievable, especially what they've been through this year. And I get there's probably still fans who's, we're not watching that because we're getting beat. But Warrington, particularly, very fickle. Yeah, as soon as they just want to jump on it, they want to.
Yeah.
Oh, get rid of him. Get rid of him. That's not working. Well, that's been 2 games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sort of. They want the success straight away. It don't work.
Salford then?
Yeah, I know. As soon as you mentioned Salford, I was like, here we go.
How long have you got on this?
Well, let me start on this, because we've looked at some of the negative perhaps, but one of the real positives at Salford was you went there, and after sort of mid-season, it became apparent, to the outsider that you were playing every game, and you was carrying whilst carrying injuries, you know what I mean? But still pulling that shirt on, still going out and playing. And I think lesser players, let's call it that, would have just dipped out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there was a few that went, and I have no qualms with anyone who went early. I have none. Because at the end of the day, you've still got to pay a mortgage, you've still got kids, you've still got
the pressure of your family, haven't you?
Of course you have, yeah. And people don't think you should just be turning up. Well, when you get into the last week of every month, and then it was panic stations. So you can understand why a lot of people went, but I love my time there.
Can I just say, like, I thought your season at Salford was one of the best you've had.
I know.
I thought you had a terrific
under
season.
Rolls. That's just the way he played, and that's why he brought me in. He said, "We'll play a bit, we'll throw ball around." But so we had, and Rolls has built it with this great philosophy of let's enjoy it, and everyone enjoy. I've never seen an environment where everyone enjoyed, and obviously we're struggling with pay and all that. Enjoyed being at training.
That's all we had, I suppose.
Yeah, it is. But the group of lads we had as well, what roles were brought in, everyone just loved being there. It made it fun. It were hard at times, but he knew how to keep everyone going and everyone be happy. And obviously, he had to drop people, so people weren't happy with him at times. But the whole environment, it were fun, and that's why they got the best out of people. When Jackson Hastings come, they got to a grand final, Challenge Cup final. He got the best out of, should I say? And these calls like the old brigade, like there were me, Brad Singleton.
Yeah, he's renowned for that, bringing a lot of people that
misfits and older people,
or people who, not really wanted by a club anymore.
And he instills a lot of belief into you. Like, I brought you here for a reason. I know you can, and I want to see it, and he'll back you, and that's why he does, and that's why we got on so well.
You talk about like it was quite a fun atmosphere. Like, why? What did he do that was different to other clubs?
Just the lads he had there. Well, I had Timmy Laffey, who was mad as a box of frogs. I've this speaker bouncing in the morning, and the staff was good. So Kurt Haggerty there. We were very detailed in what we were doing. End of the day, we still wanted to win, but just everything around training, we'd get someone up in the morning to do. You'd have something to do. We'd have awards. Then we'd get on field and we'd have story time. So someone had to tell a story before we started training, and just bits like that. It was just a good way to start, and then once you start getting people laughing and enjoying, it makes training a whole lot easier. You get a lot more out of players then.
So you told me like the trouble that was going on off the field at Salford, in the changing rooms, on the training ground. Was you really aware of it all? Other than obviously,
Yeah, there was always the questions. Not early on. So we went to Portugal in pre-season, and there was talk around it then, and then there was like these two people have come in, who Christina knew, or associates of him. They're going to buy it. But once he said that, you think, oh, we'll let them get on with it. Like, it's nothing to do with us, you know what I mean? As long as they're paying it. And then it dragged on. And then it was like, well, before we went to Portugal, the lads didn't know whether we were coming that night because other teams wanted them to go on their pre-season, so they're selling them. So when we got there, it was like, we had a game of traitors over there, so it was like, through the whole camp, we had traitors, and the other teammates had to dig them out. But it was like, who's been sold to Wigan this week? And so we started making a bit of instead of being killed, you were sold somewhere. So we made a little bit of a joke about it. But then it started getting pretty serious when we got back, and a lot of lads left. It was crazy. It was mad. But you do hear a lot of it, and obviously, with being a senior player as well, you want to filter that down some young kids and take their pressure off them as well, because some of them young kids might never get a deal anywhere else, you know what I mean? And that is one of the reasons I did stay so long.
When you're in the changing room before a match, you're perhaps playing one of the top 4 teams or whatever. Like, what were your messages to the young kids and the trialists that were coming in?
Just enjoy it. Go and play rugby. Enjoy it. Don't be worried about doing something. So we went to Wigan on, I can't remember what round it was, with 15, do we go with 14 first teamers, and then 3 made up from reserves lads, and you could tell they were absolutely bricking it beforehand. But I said, it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's guy this. Just go out, leather someone, and enjoy yourself. And I'm like, but like, that was just.
There were stories knocking about in the press that, like, some of the players met each other for the first time
on the bus.
Is this true?
Yeah. So on that
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So we weren't getting players in and stuff, and then loanee other clubs, because of the situation, weren't letting loanees come to us. Obviously, because then it got to a point where like we must have been playing FC, and we might have wanted someone from KR, and they're going, well, we're not helping you beat FC, because they might be someone we might need to be above them to get in playoffs. So, it just got political. Like, instead of just helping out, where towards the end, everyone started helping out, because if we didn't start fulfilling fixtures, your Derricks, your Simon Morans at Warrington, which were the 2 main ones towards the end of the year when I'd gone, I'd have been losing out on 150, 200 grand's worth. So I'd said it was the Leeds game, I think it was about a week or two before I left. Leeds at Leeds, Friday night, hadn't they? But I think they'd done it as a certain round or something. Anyway, there were, I think, 15,000, 16,000. So I'd pulled roles beginning that week and said, let's not go. Don't go. Let's just tell them we're going. Just don't turn up. Because it got to that point then. We needed to take action at some point, else they'd have just carried on. Owners would have just carried on walking, or they'll just get on with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so is that a point where the players were completely against what the owners were doing at that point?
Yeah. It probably happened a few weeks before, and I understand youngsters were getting the chance. A couple of loanees were getting the chance, but the loanees couldn't refuse to play because they weren't part of a club. They'd have been then done by their own club. Young lads were going, well, it's the only chance I'm going to get play.
Yeah.
So to get a full group to go, no, we're not going, let's not turn up. Obviously, senior lads, like myself, but I was looking out for them down the path, but I don't think they quite saw what it was. We'd have made a statement by not going. And I remember Jamie Jones Buchanan ringing me on the Thursday night going, I've heard you men are not coming. Can we do anything, like, if we said we pay wages, or can we send players to you? And I thought, well, where was this help?
Yeah.
5-6 weeks ago, all of a sudden now we don't want to fill a fixture at your place.
Yeah.
Why is it?
Yeah, why aren't the sport coming together now? Why all the other
so
clubs
later on,
there
was, you can see, there was 70 odd players, I think, ended up at Salford. If you looked in that grand final brochure, did you see the list? And the lad brought it all, it was about that long. For where was that? Ain't first 10 rounds. No, I'll just keep letting them all roll out. And that's why I had it to do with the player welfare stuff. And there were lads, and it was myself. I'd torn my calf, grade 2, the week before Wigan. And then he weren't going to play me at Wigan. He was going to go with a bang average side, put all the reserves out. Pretty much what he did at the beginning of the year against Saints.
Yeah.
And then we'd had a few refuse to play. So I think the coming team running, he went, I think we've only got 12. So I went, well, I'll play. And he was like, mate, I went, nah. I said, I'll just strap it up, I'll play. So I played that, and then we had Challenge Cup. Because that was it. We went to Catalan week after. So he went, I need you for Challenge Cup, really. We may as well have a go at that.
Yeah.
See how far we can get. I said, I'll be all right. And then on back in Catalan, then I ripped my hammy on the same side. So that was then put me out for 6-7 weeks.
It's just mad hearing stories that we've got a professional sports club and the head coach is counting round to see how many players he's got.
Or he didn't.
Days before.
That's what he said. He said it's not
mad.
Yeah, when I spoke with Rose, he said, not coach. You couldn't coach because you'd have a couple, like Danny Richardson come, I think he did one session, played, and then we didn't see him again. So there's no, you couldn't coach and get him into our systems and defensive patterns and attacking and where we're attacking from. And it was, let's just go out and play.
All them players that come through, is there any that you thought, God, I wish they'd stayed? Because I'd have loved playing with
Danny Richardson were good.
Really?
Yeah, he was, yeah. And a lot of them were just young kids. I've never heard of them most.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, they all had a dig.
Yeah.
They all had a great, and young kids there had a good dig. I think we'd have stopped us, and we had a normal year. I think we'd have done something.
Can we move? Let's move on to a little bit of your international stuff, but also obviously we're on the verge of the Ashes kicking off now. So, from your point of view, how do you think we fare going into these Ashes right now? Obviously, we're on the brink of the England squad being announced. We may even have it.
Hang on, what time is it, Harley?
10 to 12.
Have we had it come through? Oh, fucking.
Yeah, so, I mean, without looking at the squad, how do you think we will do against these Aussies?
I think Wayne will have them up for it. 100% he'll have them up for it. I don't think they're coming over with the best team, but I don't.
Right,
that's what I'm saying.
Interesting you say that, because we looked at the team last week.
Yeah, it's still very, very strong. I think whatever they brought over, it'd have been great because they've got that much strength in depth. But you speak to a lot of touring sides coming over here, Samoa. It's a different game when you get over here. Because there'll be a ref, I presume, I don't know if they'll bring a ref from Oz, I don't know.
Oh, they'll bring a ref.
I presume so.
They'll just bring a ref, they'll probably bring a
lineman, yeah.
Video.
We're complaining about flights, I'm sure they're going to bring a lot.
Yeah.
It's different. They'll struggle.
You say all that with a little glint in your eye.
Yeah.
It's
wet. It's going to be muddy, but lads will be hungry for it, our boys. I'm looking forward to it. I'm away from. I think I'm away from most of them. But I'll be definitely watching. He'll have them firing Wayne. Trust me. I'm good friends with Sean, and he'll have them ready and raring to go. Trust me.
Well, he's got a lot to lean on, hasn't he? You know, look at like history. You know, and going into this Ashes series, home ground as well.
He speaks very well, Wayne, and he can
motivate
a player like you'll never believe.
I've seen him like mic'd up in a changing room. You see little clips of like George Williams, Harry Smith.
He did one the other week, didn't he, about the Ashes?
Yeah.
And that's probably a clip. That's probably a snippet of what he's probably said in that meeting, because probably most of it you can't.
Yeah.
But I'm saying. But I've come out of meetings, team run, going to team run and thinking, I could play now. Like, I'm ready. He just hits a point where, and that's why I think he's quality coach at international level, because you don't really need to coach now, because he's got 20, 21 or whatever he's going to pay international quality players. He's not teaching them at the end of the year.
No.
Don't need to get them fit because they're all fit.
Yeah.
Just needs to get them motivated and in right minds.
Yeah, he's got to fire him up, point him in the right direction.
I've always felt that with Sean Wayne, though, he's a proper motivational coach. What's he like as a tactician, though? Or does he leave that side?
He leaves that. Andy Laston, I think Lee Breeze will be with him again.
Yeah.
He'll leave that to them. And that's the way he's coached. And you'll find that a lot at international level. They'll have two great assistants who they can lean on, get on really well with. He runs a good camp, Wayne. It's all about running the camp with lads. It's having the fun side, the serious side, and getting them together as aligned, because not so much probably Ashes is 3 games, but when you're away on tour for 6-7 weeks away from family, you've got to have a good pick the right people within the camp for starters, including your staff, your assistants, and then the lads. And that's so. I reckon there might be a few surprises in this selection. I'll be honest.
The England squad has just been announced. A couple of noticeable absences, but also some names there that 100% have played themselves into this team. We're fortunate enough to have former Great Britain and England international Chris Hill with us today to react to this, and also just look forward to the Ashes as well. So welcome, Chris.
My name not on there.
Hey, it could have been. You've had a storming season at Salford, so it could have been there.
So Chris, we'll tee it straight up to you. What are your first impressions of this England squad?
Strong.
Yeah.
I think it is very strong. I was a bit worried about what we're going to have up front.
Yeah.
For what we've had in past, obviously James Graham and that, but I think with Big Al back in.
Alex Walmsley back in the squad, yeah.
It's good to see Trout in. I think he's been unbelievable. Whether he'll utilise him at back row or at front row. Personally, I'd like to see him at front row because he throws his body around, but no, I think it's really strong.
Looking at the pack though, no Junior and December.
I think he's one of them. What Wayne said at the end of the game, I think might have played himself out of that. Well, he has played himself out of the squad selection. Throughout the year, I think he's been not way off. I think he started all right, then he's had patches, and that's what you get with young kids. You've got to, but it'll be a sign of.
Do you think there's a little bit of a case of media overhyping a player a little bit there?
But you've got to take that. That's the era we're in now, and that's what we want. We want to put our big stars up in front of big stages and big media outlets, don't we? We want to be putting them up there, and you've
got to make stars of them, haven't you?
Of course you have. We're not going to make stars of the show and sell the Ashes and selling, and all that. So we've got to I think you've got to sort of go with it and put all that to one side when it starts affecting your performance. That's as juniors case.
Right, most noticeable absentee, man of steel, Jake Connor, not selected for the England squad. Controversial. That is going to be very controversial.
I don't think, from my opinion, I don't think anyone is shocked. I think it was always likely that he weren't going to get picked because Sean Wayne quite publicly said, "Look, I don't know if he fits in my squad. I don't know if he fits in my camp." There's quite obviously some kind of personality, issue there. So
yeah, well, you might not be surprised, but do you think it's right? That's the question.
The proof of the eating will be in the pudding. No, proof of the pudding will be in the eating, won't it? We'll see what happens to the Ashes and what falls out of that. Chris, what's your take on that?
I know we spoke about it before, and maybe there's something in between Sean and Jay. I'm not sure there is, knowing Sean. I don't think he fits in to the way Sean wants to play. And again, we go back again, it's a matter of opinion, isn't it? If there's a different head coach in charge of England, he might have been starting half. But he's not, so he's not in. You know what I mean? It's a matter of opinion for Sean. And at the end of the day, he's a coach. You put him in charge there, not then select outlets to pick his squad.
Tell him, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's his job, and that's why he's getting paid to do that job. And the pressure then is on Sean. But I don't think he fits the way Sean wants to play. Personally, I don't think Sean wants someone throw a ball over three people's head to the corner and might come off, might not.
Like a Hail Mary to try.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Jake does that because he does some great stuff this year. I've been one of his biggest. I've played with him and had clashes with him when I've been on the same team. So we've had our differences, but I think he's been unbelievable, and he was every right to it. Man of Steel. I feel like he's been class this year, but I still don't think that he fits in to what.
Well, I suppose the big debate that we've been having this debate all season, who the halfback's going to be for England. So we've got three in that team who we expected to be in there. Do you think he's going to go with Mikey Lewis starting, or do you think he's going to come bring him in off the bench?
I don't think he gets a spot. I don't think he gets it 17.
Do you not?
No.
I'm shocked that he's saying that.
No, I don't think. Not that he's not good.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think it sort of fits in. You can't bring Mikey off at 9. On at 9, 'cause he's not played it there all year.
No,
but he could do if that's what Sean. But he's not.
He did that with him in the last series, didn't he?
Different kettle of fish against Aussies, in it. They're gonna pinpoint him. Not a massive body. He'll put his body in the way. Don't get me wrong. He's a brave little sod. But you can't. I don't think you can carry him on bench. I don't think you can. I think you're wasting a sub. To be honest.
I disagree. I completely disagree with this one. I just think. I think he's a match winner. I think you've got to have match winners on the pitch. And I know what you're saying about Smith and Williams, and you know what you're going to get from them. So you're going to get a structured, very organised play from them. If you ask me, is there a match winner there that can probably turn a game on its head? I don't know.
I don't think he's gone through that as part of the identity, though. What this screams at to me is like lots of consistency to create like a solid team effort. And I think Sean Wayne believes the team is going to get this across the line, and he can't rely on individuals. Otherwise, Jake Connor would be in there. Mikey Lewis would get a starting spot without doubt. And that's not what he's gone for, is it?
No. And I don't think you can carry it international. I don't think you can carry him on the bench just hoping that you can put him on, because where you put him on, it might be then a big disturbance to the team. You're going to start pushing players around. At international level, you can't do that. I know why he's picked Harry.
Yeah.
Because of his kicking.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to have a really good kicking game against Aussies and finish where they want to finish, in corners, kick it behind them when it's wet. And I just don't think Mikey fits into that.
That's interesting. Well, in my opinion, I'm going to look at the grand final as an example this week.
So did you put him in at half?
Yeah, he starts for me.
Instead of
Harry.
Who do you have kicking? George?
Well, George's pretty good at like the short kicks, but I don't know if he'd be kicking for position on the pitch.
To get him out the road.
Do you know what as well? I think Mikey Lewis's kicking game has improved a lot.
Oh, it has.
It has. Hell of a lot.
40 in.
And if I look at the grand final and I look at he had that moment of flair and where he turned the game on its head. But actually, I thought his organisational play throughout the whole final, I thought was terrific.
Do you think George and Mikey? I personally think they're too similar. Both runners of the ball.
That's the only.
Both runners. Yeah. I noticed at the weekend when Wigan got penned in quite a few times, Harry Smith put a 60, 70 yard. And at points, Aussies are going to keep us in our 20, 30.
Oh, without
we need an outlet. I don't think we have one without Arian.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say this because, and it's funny how I'm kind of changing my mind listening to Chrissy now, right?
Yeah,
but
it's like you've shit yourself.
No, I'm not shitting myself. No, I haven't. Because I can't ever get away from, we went to was it the Samoa? There was the Samoa game where Harry did that like crossfield kick to Harry Newman. Yeah. Right. So that game there, before I was always like, I'm not really sure about Harry Smith. But then he did that. And in that game, I just saw something from him. And then obviously in the presser afterwards, the way he was talking, I thought, he is a class act.
He's a typical international player, Harry.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's structured.
I don't know what you mean.
He'll kick. He's structured. There's no massive flair, but he's not going to go out the boundaries of what Wayne tells him to do. Get to this point because we're coming at him. And he'll do that till last kick again.
It's almost like the peaks and troughs. Like you can have a Mikey Lewis where the peaks are just sensational.
Really good.
But you drop
Ben,
and that'll cost you the game at international level. Whereas with a Harry Smith,
you're always in game. He'll always be in game, Harry. He's always in that. And again, you could probably say that about a few of them. John Bateman.
Well, this is another one that springs to mind. This is what I'm saying, the identity.
It's in sort, the identity of what Wayne is trying to bring and what he has done for the last 3 years.
Hard-working.
Yeah, just he'll go from minute 1 to minute 80. He'll know you'll not give up.
But I mean, you say like there's no like game winners there. Herbie Farmworth, can turn a game, no problem. There's a few stars. I mean, Tom Johnson knows his way to the try line, doesn't he?
Joe Burgess is the other one. I think we've spoke about this off air, but Sean Wayne said after the grand final that he said I've had to think about a few of my selections. I reckon Burgess played his way into that English shirt on Saturday.
I thought it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I thought he's an unbelievable player, right?
He's a big game player anyway. And I think he knows what he's going to get from Joe anyway. If he puts him in, does he start him?
First time back in England squad in 10 years for Joe Burgess.
What is it?
Yeah. Back in his Wigan days, he was last in the England squad. But he has had
quality.
A phenomenal season, hasn't he?
Yes, he's been quality. So I think he deserves his place. Does he start? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know right now. Something else as well is obviously Victor Radley's not playing this year. Whatever reasons that is, the obvious replacement there would be Matty Lees, I would think.
Yeah, Knowles.
Hang on, you've got Knowles. Sorry, Knowles.
You've got Callum Watkins back in there.
Maybe he'll put Cal at 13. Yeah, it's not a bad shout.
Towards the twilight of his career, but again, he's another player he's on form,
and he knows what he's going to get from him as well, doesn't he?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's been Cal's career, hasn't it? Consistent, knows exactly what he's going to get from him. Not give up, tough. You might see him at 13. He might bring Nosey off bench as a middle.
Yeah. Have we got Smithy's been picked?
Yes. Yeah, Smithy's.
That's the 11 you put him.
Yeah, Owen Trout.
You got AJ Brimson in from Gold Coast. It'll be him or Wellesby at full-back, no doubt. More than likely, Jack Wellesby, I would have thought. St Helens' most represented side in the England squad.
Interesting, isn't it?
That prize.
It is for so-called always picks Wiganers, weren't it?
Yeah. I've said that,
as well. We both said that, mate.
Yeah.
Both guilty of that.
Yeah. So no, it's interesting.
Who, in your opinion, there, Chris? Just looking at the names, is a cultural player. You think predominantly brought in to create a culture and a.
There's a few there.
Yeah.
There's a few. Knowlesy, Morgan Knowles, John Bateman, George Williams, Wellesby. There's a lot. You could probably name 70-80% of them.
Yeah.
Mike McMeekan. And you've got to have a core with them. And it's probably one of the reasons I got my foot in the door probably a lot of the time with playing international and knowing what it's about and knowing what camps are about. When you get lads in now who've not been in camps before, it's a shock. It's a surprise because you're not going home, because I know they'll be based We're based down at Wigan way. So Jez Litton and that, he's not going home. Or he might go home after the game and be back in camp Monday. So
all right, yeah, I didn't think about it.
It's a different mindset. You're around lads all the time, and well, they're at home this time, but sometimes you need a bit of time away from them. You've got to be able to manage your time in camp because you can get bored as well. You know what I mean? Like, just go in sauna. We've been in this morning. You know what I mean? There's stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you've got to have experienced lads around who know what it takes to be in camp as well. That's probably half the battle.
I seem to remember a comment about you in one of your last internationals, and it was like, Chris is like a mainstay of the English side, and will be, he'll take some of these younger lads under his wing. Is that?
Yeah, and that's what.
true?
Yeah, and like you said, there's been a lot. I've had a lot of camps through my time and seen a lot of players. There's a admission with not Robbie Mullen.
Oh yeah. Yeah, only one league player in there, isn't there?
Yeah, Owen Trout. So I think he's pretty unfortunate myself. I think he's been good, Robert. But yeah, through my career, and that's what you've got to do, and go for coffees with him. When we go back to culture, when he's brought in, we're another club. It's not international. I've been through times when we was with Steam Act, there's a lot of cliques. So your Leeds lads have stopped together, your Saints lads have stopped together. Now going into England, if I walk back into Miller Ashes camp, it'd be like walking into a club environment.
Right.
They're all linked together. Mikey won't be just going off with,
Chairs or whatever.
because of old care lads. You know what I mean? He'll be with Wigan lads, or the couple of Saints boys will be with, you know what I mean? It's very much a club feel, and that's what Wayne brought to international, a really club feel. He'll have all parents there, probably one night. I'm only guessing this, but he's done this a lot. We'll come back from training, all parents are in hotel, put a big meal on for him. We all integrate. He'll get if he's picking anyone with newbies who's making their international debut, he'll get them up, he'll get the parents to present it. It's very much a club feel, not just a international, or we're here for a couple of weeks, let's just get on with games. It's like walking into a club. It's class.
Can you talk us through what happens now? Squad's been relaxed. Will they have been notified perhaps last night, or
usually get notified on Mad Monday if you're in grand final, so you're pissed. You're like, when he's I'll leave that one till tomorrow. Yeah, so usually you get that. I've had that a few.
Does he usually ring round every player?
He'll ring everyone.
Yeah, all right.
He'll ring everyone who's been in his squad throughout the year and tell them why they're not in.
Right.
Or why they are in. And then an email will go out. They might have obviously AJ Brimson and Guy and that, they're coming up.
That's
how I'll let them know a week or so ago, which is only right. But he'd have been waiting on obviously a few for the grand final. Whether Luke Thompson's picked up or not, I don't know. So I thought he'd have been in.
Yeah, I thought Luke Thompson would be in.
Yeah,
Mikhail Ledsky's in, which is a little bit of a surprise.
Whether he's coming for.
Yeah. Not many Aussie-based players.
No, I wouldn't have thought there'd have been.
No. Well, there were a lot putting their hands up to play for England.
I think Victor's a big miss.
Oh, massive.
Massive miss.
Yeah, massive.
I was looking forward to seeing Victor against him. I think he's a massive miss, but no, I was speaking to Jack Phillips, who's their head analyst. After he's a Wigan analyst, but he does it and he said Wayne has been full on about this, and he's full on anyway. Wayne, I had a meal with him last week at the Wigan League game, and he couldn't wait. He's chomping a bit for getting to camp, so they'll go in.
Did you have any idea what this England?
No, he's not like that. No, he keeps it close to his chest. He's not like that, Wayne. But they'll probably be in. Well, they'll probably be in day with today.
So it's Monday now. Mad Monday now, isn't it?
Yeah, so these lot will be, grand final lads will be away doing whatever. But I think they're expected in Thursday, which usually you had a week off and you come in the following week, but then that was leading up to a game, really. Obviously, with Ashes.
You've been talking about like Sean Wayne's culture. I want to flip this on its head a little bit and go in the other direction. He played under like Wayne Bennett in the GB squad, which, that GB tour was a bit of a disaster, wasn't it, really?
Depends which way you make disaster. Going out was great. Social side of it was great.
There you go. That's right where it is at.
No, again,
What are the difference between the two coaches?
obviously, I always thought when Wayne Bennett got it, I thought he's never going to get what England's about. You know, let's go to war sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, he got it like that.
Did he?
Unbelievable.
All right.
But he's very much like Wayne, the way and how passionate he speaks and how intrigued he is in you as a person and how you can do it to the best of your ability. It instills a lot of belief into you. Probably didn't know most of the players, be deadly truthful. And he'll open, I admit that.
Yeah.
He probably had people picking the squad for him and he'd have watched a little bit. It was getting on in, you know. But unbelievable. And he knew how to run a camp down to an absolute T. Absolute T, because we had some great times. He's an absolute diamond of a bloke. You can understand why he's had the longevity he has.
All right.
It's like you believe that, like, take the Ashes now. The Ashes can be won and lost in this camp.
100%. It could be won or lost it first week.
Just if you personality clash.
But yeah, personality clashes. Even so much you're rooming with.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
If you're not happy or whatever.
Yeah, what you're not happy. But when he knows it down to an absolute T, he'll have them. Like I said, I imagine they'll all be in Tuesday at rest of them now. Then the grand final lads will come Thursday. And then they'll probably train Friday, weekend off. And that'll be it then. And they'll have something family-wise. He's really good at that. He'll bring in, because at the end of the day, they're giving a lot up. And I would say, I mean, you don't see it when you're as a player. My missus at home with kids, giving up on holidays. They're all, obviously, all the Super League lads are off on holiday. We've got to wait around till sometimes mid-December. Yeah, she's, you know, and I'm not at home at all. And maybe a day, especially we're over here. Obviously, we're not over here. I'm not home at all, you know. And but he loves bringing them in because he said they give up as much as you do. They're just not taking field with the boots on. So he'll have all families. He's brilliant at that. Absolutely brilliant at that. Bring all families in, have a meal. All kids will run around. He'll have things on for kids, entertain or whatever.
Well, what will that? You mentioned training on Friday. What will that training look like? Do you think?
I imagine they might get a bit of a touch up Friday for the lads who have been out of action for a couple of weeks. Obviously, there's lads who
bit of contact.
Yeah, he loves the contact. Or does he? Yeah. So he used to bring the academy lads in from. So one session last year.
Some cannon fodder.
Yeah, he did, honestly. When was it? It'd have been Tonga Tess, small one. And we had a bit of a session against each other. And because it's very competitive, obviously, you want to get that shirt, you want to beat 17. So the body flying everywhere and waiting his behind sticks going, oh no, we're going to get injuries for that. And he's like, stop. It's like, just calm it down a bit. Then we'll do another rep of like left side against right side. And someone would fly out and he'd go, no. And he'd lose his head. And the next day, he had, 2 days later, he had a few from Wigan Academy, a few from Senate maybe, a few from Warrington. And we just levered them. And I felt so sorry for them. They give the time up because they went back in training just to get levered off Victor Radley. Victor Radley just absolutely howling kids. And I'm like, oh no. Yeah, honestly, just brought them in. And they loved it. Like, June December was one.
Oh,
yeah, he was with Wigan and he come in. And he weren't nowhere near. He's put some timber on from them, but he was just getting levered, honestly. Because it stopped us then hitting each other.
Yeah.
He would do like drills and it was just literally there you had ball run into three of us and just get one more.
You're just saying that England squad come out then. Is part of you still, when you see like international squad come out, is part of you still thinking, you know, I wish I was still in the mix with that? Or are you quite content?
No, I'm quite content with I'm quite content with what I've done. Obviously, I was part of the last one and didn't manage playing. I mean, where they spoke about that, and again, it was probably a bit what you said. They wanted me in and around, and we had chats about it. I got no gripes to that. I think I always said to him, pick your best 17, and if there's any injuries, I'll drop in, and if not, so be it. That's just the way it is, you know what I mean? And But no, I've done my time at that. I wish we'd have had an Ashes.
Yeah, it's been too long, hasn't it?
Too long, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But I think that's more on Aussie's part than I think our part.
100% it's on the Aussies.
I think it's, if we don't tickle the bellies when they come over, I think, they're a bit like that, aren't they? But, no, I wish we'd have had, but now I'm pretty content with what I did. Loved every minute of it, honestly. I always say to anyone who's come in as well now, these are the best times of your life. And they make an absolute mark on your family like you never believe. And I always say one story, and Wayne reiterates it to everyone who comes in now. I went to a park near me, out local park, and I was pushing my girl on swing, and she might have been 5 then. And on her rest day, they're all rugby, like Wigan League. And I said, "Oh, you, Chris?" "Oh, yeah. Who did you play for?" I said, "Oh, well, I was at Huddersfield. And he said, "Who played at Warrington?" Yeah. And I got my little girl off swing. I walked away, and she went, "You didn't tell them England, Dad." You know what I mean? And that's the small bits, like how much of a mark you make on your family and how much of a club feel England is, because she's been involved in it.
Yeah.
Into these meals and invited after games, and how much it actually puts a stamp. And that's when you actually realise, you go, "Oh yeah, it does it, mate. It puts a stamp on your family as well." Yeah.
Have you got any of your England shirts? Have you got them framed up or anything?
Lots. Mrs. hates.
I
I can't see an inch at all. See an inch at all in our house.
Have you got a man cave or?
No, I've not, and that's what I mean.
House?
No, that's what I need. I did the just before lockdown. I did the downstairs garage into like a cinema room, but then my eldest thought it was smart for it to turn it into his bedroom, so that's that gone. So I've got him up side out fire. I wanted one over the bedroom, but was just sure that's a little bit too far. I've got me England one when we beat New Zealand. I've got my World Cup 2017 final one. I've got my debut England 2012 against Wales, them 3. And I've got my GB at top upstairs with my cap in it. Yeah.
But do you get a physical cap there?
Yeah, you only get one though.
Right.
So you don't get it. So I think I put 38 for England. You only get the first one. So her dad got me that framed. That's downstairs. But yeah, I've got a few more. I've got a couple of dream teams I won't get done. Bradford gave me one at weekend for retiring there. I've got my testimonial one.
So how many games? How many Super League games? Well, there's probably 2 questions here. How many Super League games appearances do you have? 497 or something.
Yeah, 400 and
right up there.
Yeah. And then I think I've done total about 570.
Yeah,
something like that. Including the internationals. Yeah, it's mad.
What is, like, if you're looking back on your international career, what is your fondest memory? I know it's quite a difficult question.
I enjoyed it when World Cup 2017. We've still got the WhatsApp group for that.
All right.
With Sam Burgess, George, me, Elliot Whitehead, John Bateman. I can't remember. It's quite Kev Brown, Gail, and we're posting it. Graham
still going.
Still going. Yeah, still. And that's and it's called.
Do us a favour, mate. When this episode goes out, just drop a link in.
Yeah. and it's called Friends for Life.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, like 8 weeks, Friends for Life, and it was but the whole tour was, obviously it didn't end the way we wanted it to end. But
it
with Cal.
Yeah.
But my parents were over for the full lot. Her parents were over there for the full lot, and then my missus come over for the semi-final and final. So I think to have them all there,
yeah,
it was special, that bit.
Compare an international series in Australia to over here. Do the Aussies take it in as high regard as what we do, or are they still?
Yeah. They do. Yeah, they do over there. Yeah, they try and play it down, and
because they talk about Origin all the time, don't they?
Yeah,
and I know how big Origin
and it is big. Yeah, but I think we have to have a big international game.
Oh,
yeah. I think that's got to be massive for us. But I know, obviously, with like Paynas going across and other players that making their allegiances to, I think it'll make Aussie stand up a little bit more now and go, we might not be the best. And obviously, they got beat. Did New Zealand beat them?
Yeah.
So I think they're going to have to start taking it a little bit more serious now, especially with Tonga and Samoa. and how strong they're going to be.
Oh yeah, and we're talking about like next World Cup already, aren't we?
Well, that's what I mean.
We're already looking towards that at the
Yeah.
minute. Could be a changing of the guard.
Yeah.
Finally.
Hopefully,
Yeah. How important is this Ashes series for England for us to win it?
Oh, really.
And if this is a flop,
I think if we win this and we sack them back off home on the A380, put them in economy class so they can all sit there and moan.
travel lodge hotel when they're home.
Yeah, all way back. I think it'll make them stand up a lot more instead because they put us down over there, don't they? They put our game down.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't get me wrong, NRL is a different level. I've not played it, so I wouldn't know, but I'm looking at it from outside. It's a different level. I just think the way they treat a lot of, like, Thingy who's been over there, young lad from Saints who's been at Rabbitohs.
Oh,
yeah,
Dodd, never really been given a chance. Now, if that's an Aussie half who's a young lad coming through, I'm telling you, man, we'd have had more of a chance than that.
Yeah.
You know, so I get.
Oh, Wayne, he said to him, didn't he, apparently, first training session, he said, oh, so you're the English lad, are you?
And that's something Wayne would say. But Wayne didn't sign him.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
But I've known when I've been into England camp with Wayne first, he's asked what position you play. In your name, you know what I mean? So, yes, you just pick me. So, you know what I mean? You should know.
Stand off, mate.
Yeah. I fly. But that's the way Wayne is.
Yeah.
But everyone just thought it was a bit arrogant at first, the way he did, but soon realised that's just the way he works.
Just his person.
Just his personality, yeah.
Well, he's same with media, and he wouldn't speak to the media.
No. But what he is he's all for the boys. He's very much, if my lads are happy,
Yeah, I don't care what people are saying
about
about
what anyone else is saying about me.
Right, media then, when you go over to Australia for a test series, what's the media scrutiny like compared to what it's like over here?
Yeah, you've got to be really careful. Well, we've had it a few times, haven't we?
Well, Leon Price
is his prime example, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to be really careful, yeah. Or they're on you.
Yeah.
They're on you, like. Oh. And they'll catch you at a vulnerable time as well. They're smart like that, so if you've been out on piss, or, you know what I mean, if you had a drink, and
yeah,
they'll try and catch something. Which, again, is pretty much like football, isn't it, over here? That's the way they're held in that regard. And
so, us sat here as media, and Australia coming over here for the Ashes, is it our duty to give them a bit of stick?
Yeah, just
just
ignore them. That's what they do mostly to us. Just ignore you. Like, you're not worth it. Yeah. We've done it, and we did. I remember, when was it? It was World Cup final. We did thing in Brisbane, press, and we were having a photo with Aussies. And wasn't Wayne Bennett's coached them,
yeah,
as well. And they were late. He went, fuck this, not waiting for these long. We went, crack on with press. We're not waiting for these. And that's the little bit of. Yeah. We were there half an hour early.
Yeah.
In Brisbane, bloody boiling, waiting around for these for a picture. Yeah, leave these. And we went up to the Sky Tower and did press, and then they all.
I love it. I love the mind games.
That's class, isn't it? Yeah. This is the best bit.
And the Ashes series, I think it'll get hyped up.
Yeah, even more. Yeah, we'll wait for the next 7 days. Watch it go.
Yeah, it's going to
just go throw a grenade in and watch it go. Can't wait.
Chris, who's been some of your favourite players that you've played alongside, whether it's international or club rugby?
James Graham, still a good close friend of mine. He was, like I've tried to be through my time. He took me under his wing when I first come through, give me a load of shit, like, brought me on, but taught me a lot of things about, like, your 1%ers, your extras and training. And Sam Burgess, really good bloke. He's probably the best player I've ever played with. The way he went about, he smacked Sonny Bill Williams around this field for 80 minutes against New Zealand, but he was in his prime.
Yeah,
Sonny Bill, and I've never seen anyone. But Benny Westwood did it exactly the same. Super Benny, he were smoking 20 a day and back at conditioning, and but then come game day, 80 minutes, like, you'll never believe. I've come across that many. I could be here all day, but there are three that stand out for me, and yeah, some unbelievable experiences as well with them.
And what about players you played against? and you just thought they've just left a mark on me?
Yeah, probably the biggest one's Matt Scott, with
Oh, right.
Aussies,
Yeah,
Aussie prop. Unbelievable.
but that's not a name that's like
No.
it's out often.
People might have to look him up or look. North Queensland, weren't it? But hard. Yeah, we'll play against him. He'd been opener at Cardiff 2013.
You just had a battle with him.
Oh, you couldn't have it. He was just so strong. Honestly, he's like the old time, but could convert to sort of the new style of rugby. But he was solid. Yeah, he was good. But then there's like Boy Cordner.
Yeah,
that Petros in the receiver.
He was hard as nails.
Yeah, there's been, but I'd say Matt Scott probably sticks out in my mind more than anything. When you have them moments within thinking, you think, yeah.
Yeah, I know I've been in the game.
Yeah.
Who was the worst sledger? Talking about, because there's going to be loads of sledging going on in this Ashes series.
Out to that lot.
Yeah, who's our best sledger on that team? Probably Mikey. Yeah?
Mikey, I'd say, yeah. I obviously don't know AJ Benson, but I think Wellesby likes a sledge. Wellesby loves a sledge. He can get up, yeah. But yeah, you got Mikey's like an annoying sibling, isn't he? Mikey, yeah. That's the way he plays. I love it. I think he plays his best when he's like that.
Yeah, he does.
I think he gets him going.
Well, if you look at the grand final, KR started playing the sort of best rugby after there was a bit of a coming. And
that's the way.
Him and JWH got fired up.
That's it. I thought I agreed with man of the match.
Did you?
Yeah, I voted for man of the match.
Oh, we voted wrong then.
Yeah, I personally.
No,
that's probably seen it from my point.
Yeah,
probably loved him more.
He was quality. Him and Mikey were.
Yeah, but I don't think Mikey plays well like that
without
Hargreaves doing what he did first.
Yeah. Well, I saw it on one of Michael Lewis's. I think Hargreaves took a drive in on his elbows and knees, got up, played the ball. You know what I mean? Got the markers sort of involved in a bit of ruckus, so they were preoccupied. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then Michael Lewis goes
Mikey does the magic bit, doesn't he? And beats two and
without that foundation.
Yeah, without the actual foundation. And I thought Mikey played really well. I do. But I thought he set the platform. I agree.
That's a proper forwards answer, that, isn't it?
Yeah. That's his props union. That I played against Hargreaves with he's dad. Yeah, he's a good one. He was really good. I agree.
Yeah, it was outstanding. Last game of the weekend as well, wasn't it? And a great
way to. Yeah, it was. Yeah, him and Mickey McLaurin again played with Mickey, and great send off from both. I think it was a good final. I think the best team throughout the year deserved. They deserved to win. They finished top. They're the most consistent, and it doesn't always happen, does it? In finals, you've had it from 6. With leads and stuff like that. But I think I think they did deserve it. I think for consistency-wise, over the year, winning the Challenge Cup and then going on again, for a club what's not renowned for doing stuff like that, I think.
It's crazy to think that the first time they've won the Super League, that they actually did the treble on the first year.
Well, not only that, I mean, it was only 9 years ago they were in the Championship.
Yeah, play against the Championship. Yeah, that's how they built, and I think that's the infrastructure he's put in. But I thought they deserved it. Yeah, I think Wigan were way off. But
they were way off, but they were well backed. I looked at a stat. It came up on the screen. It was like, I think 68% of people expected Wigan to win.
Yeah, I backed Wigan back.
I did that.
We both backed Wigan.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, apart from Ulster fans, obviously, but I don't think many other neutrals would have looked for Ulster.
But there was I can see a reality of that final where Wigan win it.
I can.
Bevan French's tries given at the start. Liam Farrell catches that pass with Farrell.
It's a different game.
Wigan are 12-0 up.
I don't think that 10 minutes then bothers Wigan as much because they're not at 0-0. You know what I mean? They're 12-0 up. You can sort of, not relax, but you can sort of play your game a little bit more. That 10 minutes wouldn't have bothered him. If they conceded 1, it wouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah. But I think rain. I think a bit of rain would have changed the format of it all as well.
And you usually get rain, don't you, grand final?
Yeah, we were expecting.
Yeah, but I just thought they were off, and they've saved the worst game for And that's what you get. Sometimes you get that, don't you? And I come back to it. I thought, OKR's pack bullied the bullies, I think. I do, and that was the...
Yeah, I mean, JWH certainly played that game like it was his last game of rugby league.
He plays like that every game.
No, I don't think he has.
You know,
I think he used to. And I've watched him this year in Super
League,
and I think he's
dropped a bit.
toned it down because it's really easy to pick up a yellow card and points on you.
Maybe Willie Peters had that chat with him and said, "Listen, you can't do it."
It'll literally just go out
and do
whatever.
Yeah.
And
I thought it would
win at all costs.
Yeah. And I thought they got over Wigan's pack, and hence why. I thought most important is where Hull finished the sets. If you look, they hardly ever kicked. They ran out last.
Yeah.
Held the ball.
Yeah, quite happy.
Slowed it down, got everyone set, and then just let them play the ball. And then because then it takes field out of it. So when field were catching ball, there were 5 or 6 around him every time. Put him in a telephone box, really, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, it's smart, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think they've done their homework really, really well.
Yeah, those sets when they were coming out of the line, Wigan, and the defence was just ferocious, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The crowd, they were at the Hull KR end, the crowd were just on them.
Absolutely. And they had no answer for that, Wigan. It looked like, and I said it in commentary, it looked like they were waiting for Bevan or Jai to do something.
But yeah, like you said, once they took the forwards out of the game,
they can't do anything.
They had no platform, did they?
No, still up.
Just, can we look at Wigan in defeat? So did you see like Matty P at the end, like, they wandered around, they were applauding the whole KR, and that's a bit of class.
Class that, innit?
And then they hung around afterwards whilst...
Watched the trophy presentation, and that's what Matty instills.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you now, that'd have been the last thing lads would have wanted to do.
Oh, yeah. You've
written all over their face. Yeah. So they walk around there like 5-year-olds, you know what I mean?
Get dragged round. But that's what the club and Chris Brooks, who's was it not director, or chief executive, professor. That's what they instill. That's the Wigan club.
Yeah.
That is the Wigan club. I went to the league game, as I said before, and got presented with like a nice whiskey from the club from a career and stuff like that, and they got me up and never played at Wigan. Me, Steph, we've never played at Wigan. Yeah, I mean, it's just that
class.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, invited me and my wife, went into director's lounge, had a night there. You know what I mean? I didn't need to. Yeah, never played there. It's just them little bits, and that was gracious in defeat. Yeah, and trust me, that'd have been tough.
Oh, God.
That would have been tough.
Can't imagine. Yeah,
straight after as well.
I mean, I watched it. You tapped me on the shoulder and you said, "Look, class act." And I saw Matt Pete go down. We didn't get close. Don't get me wrong.
No,
close. But they were
fit to walk there, and then they stood and watched them. And Matty would have not made them, but that's what he'd have said.
Yeah, even if he'd have said, "Soak it in," because you don't want to be here.
We don't want to be here again. Yeah, let's learn from this. Yeah, it was class. It was class, and then they all walked off together. But they do everything together. You notice they do everything together, whether it's in defeat or whether they won.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good.
Should we go touch on last bit on Ashes and then right. So we'll flip back here. We'll cut this bit out. But Chris, if England are going to win this Ashes series with that squad, and we've seen both squads now picked, how are we going to do it? How do you think this series is won and lost?
I think it's in pack.
In the pack?
Yeah. But we've got some good, exciting outside backs. Obviously, Irby, Wellesby.
Yeah.
Harry Newman, if he's on.
I think
Wardle, I think's class.
Yeah.
Whether he's carrying a knock. He looked like to me he was carrying a knock at grand final. So I don't know if Harry Newman's in there just to cover that. I think it's got to be down to our pack, innit? I think Mike McMeekin and Al Walmsley will start. 2 big bodies. Lee's the off bench, maybe with Havard. And I'd put Morgan Knowles at loose just for his aggression, and I think that's what we need. But it'll be in the pack. It's going to be in the pack. I don't mean all this thrown out to Herbie and all this. It'll work unless...
But it would be both sides of the ball as well, though, in attack and defence.
We've got to be aggressive. We've got to be aggressive. And just... Because over there, it's not... it's not same style over here, and that's why they get a bit spooked. We'll be able to slow it down a little bit over here. They'll get numbers in.
Yeah.
They'll get annoyed.
Oh yeah,
That's what we want.
They hate a slow ruck.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see the first 10 minutes. I can't wait. It's my body's everywhere.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping for, well, I'm not hoping, but like a Morley-esque.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just check someone's edge off.
Yeah, just someone just put the marker down straight away.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he's picked Salford, bigger body.
Welcome to England.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this idea of like a slower ruck, I mean, why is that? Why do they have is it just like...
It's just a technique they use.
Right.
They don't often...
They don't wrestle as much?
No, there's no much wrestle. It's a little bit of contact down, up, where we tend to get free in attack.
So the attacking player will
try and find the floor.
Find the floor as
instead of try and get through. There's obviously lads who create the line and all that, but they don't commit as many numbers to a tackle because the defence is pretty set. We'll usually commit at least 3.
Yeah.
Maybe down in their 20, you might commit 4. Well, weekend you saw 5.
I was going to say it's 5.
Yeah,
The 5 on the like, you know, on
because
for Mikey Lewis.
They're not going to, like, if you miss 2 out and they get back late and come behind the rug, they're not going to go round you in the 10, 15. I think it goes back when we went to Warrington, we trained against Roosters and we did a scrimmage session. It's going a bit off topic, a scrimmage session. But if you shift on them early, Aussies, they're like, not supposed to do this. So I think we might be able to get them with a little bit of that.
Right.
Early to Herbie, just get us that little bit of a win. But because they just play boom, 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 kick, defence. You know,
It's very robotic.
Yeah, very robotic, but they'll do it really well, won't they? And they'll just grind you down, right? And then they'll just get a try. You know, they'll just keep ticking over. They don't do anything out the ordinary. Maybe we might have to do something out the ordinary a little bit.
What do you reckon then? We'll win it first test at Wembley?
I reckon it'll be 2-1 to us. I reckon we'll win it at Leeds.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I reckon we'll win it at Leeds.
Let them know about it as well.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I also.
For the next 20 years.
Rest. Yeah, I reckon so. I hope, well, that's what I'm hoping. I mean, that's what my heart said.
And me. I'll take 3-0 though.
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, Chris, thank you, first of all, for taking some time out and coming to join us here today, but also being as open and honest as you've been. I think you've played like that throughout your career, open and honest and hardworking, and it's come across in what you've said today, so thank you very much. It's been a privilege talking to you.